it's Rita from Rita Morales Designs. Today what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the Divi customizer options. So what we're going to do is after we log into our WordPress, we are going to scroll down to Divi, and this time we're going to select Theme Customizer. Inside of the Theme Customizer is a whole lot of settings that control how your Divi site looks. So the first two, because there's a lot of sections in here and I don't want to make this video too long and overwhelming, we're going to break it down into a couple of settings. And the first one is we're going to just hit on the general settings and the navigation and header. So we're going to go ahead and click on general, and then the first tab is site identity, and this is where you would put the name of your business and your tagline. And obviously you want this to be keyword rich if it's not already, so just some descriptive words to describe your business. And you would click save, and then you could go back. The next one is layout settings. And if you were to make some changes to your website as far as the width is concerned, this is where you wanted to do it. So if you wanted a larger width website, or maybe you wanted a smaller one, let's say that you wanted to go down to like 980 or something, then you could adjust that here, or 1024, which used to be a really popular website width. So now the gutter is the space in between here and here. So you can leave that the same, or you could adjust it. So let's say if I adjust it to 2, you see how it would increase my images and make them closer together. But we're going to just leave them at 3. And this is something new that Divi added, which is really great. And let's say that you have a sidebar and you want to increase the width of the sidebar, or let's say you want to decrease it. In the standard Divi sidebar, it's pretty narrow, and so a lot of times what we would have to do in order to make it a little bit wider was to do a lot of CSS to make it work. Well, Divi has solved that problem by adding this use custom sidebar width, which is really good because it saves a lot of time. So if you wanted to use a custom sidebar width, then you would select this. It comes unselected. So you would select it, and then you would open your blog page and kind of adjust the width to what you feel might look best. On this site, because it is just my training portal, there is no sidebar, and so these are the settings from my main website. And as you can see, I increased the width of that to about 30. So you could then add also your theme accent color right here. And what you would do is you would just click it and add the hex code into right there, and then you would save and publish. And the next thing that we would want to do is we're going to back out. We're going to be back into general settings, and next we're going to talk about typography, or your fonts. So the first thing that I like to do is I like to scroll down and pick whatever font I'm using. So in this case, I'm using Lato, and I'm using Lato for the headers, which are right here, and I'm going to use Lato Light for the body. As you can see, the Lato Light is kind of it's light, right? It's kind of difficult to read. So in that case, I would increase the size of the Lato Light. And the reason why I like to put in the fonts first is because you never know what the font is going to look like until you put it in there, and you're not going to know what size you need until after you see it. So one thing that I like to do is I like to usually will double the size of the fonts. The main the headers will be about double of what the body font is. So, and also in this case, if you had, let's say for instance, if I wanted to use the Leto Light, but I wanted to bold that, I could do that. Or if I click I, that means italicize. This works on all of your headers though. So just make sure that it's the style that you want to use and that you're going to use it consistently. The double T's means uppercase all of your headers. Or you could underline all of them. So the next thing that you'll want to look at is the body link color. So any links that you have, what color are you want them to be? I like to have them be a dark color that is going to stand out but is not going to be too overbearing. And then the next thing would be your body text color. So then you would click Save and Publish, and then you're going to go to the next one, which is going to be under General. We're going to look at background, and if you wanted a different background color, like let's say that you wanted a cream or something for the background. If I save and publish, then my background should change, but I may have that hardwired in there. So let's go back to the header and the navigation area. So if we scroll up, the first thing that we're going to see is that I have my logo, it's centered in here, but there are different options that we want to use, that you can use. So you could use center in line, and basically that means that your logo is in alignment with your menu. And as you can see, it didn't pull my menu that I'm using, it actually created another menu. And the reason why is when you use the centered inline logo combination, it is going to use your primary menu. But what I'm using up here is my secondary menu. So there's another option. You can have your menu slide in. You can have full screen. And you can have default, which is usually up here in the corner. So you can't really see that one right now. So, but for me, I like to use the centered, and you can also enable your vertical navigation and pick which side you would like it on. So if you wanted your menu to be on the right or on the left, you could pick it right here, and then you would just click Save and Publish. So the next thing that we're going to look at is your primary menu. If we had a primary navigation menu bar, this is where it would be, and all of the settings that would go along with it would be right here. Because we are using the secondary menu, then all of the settings are going to be under here. So let's say for instance, if I wanted to increase the font size, you can see that when I increased it, increased right there, and it also increased this extra feature right here. But I'm going to take that back down to 12, and I also like to have the 2 letter spacing in my menus and also in my footers. I just like them because it just gives it a little space. And then you would define your text color, and if you had drop down menus, this would be where you would define the drop down menus, and then you could change the text color for that as well. So the next thing that you could do is, as you can see, I have my email address right here inside of the secondary menu. I could also add my phone number if that was something that I wanted to distribute to other people, and I could also show my search icon, and usually it would show up over here, and or your social icons, but I have disabled those inside of the theme options area, so they are not going to show up. So the next thing that we would do is we would just save everything that we have, and the next section that we would work on is the footer, and I am going to stop this video and do another video for that section.